Because they didn't used to sell their CDs at the fucking warehouse or anything, you know. I'd come back with all this music and I'd give it to all my buddies, you know, and we'd find all these new bands from going to shows, dude. That used to be my thing. And then I wish I still had my CD collection, man. That used to be my favorite shit. And then I got my car broken into, man, at my house, dude. And I just remember the cop being like so nonchalant about it, but I felt like somebody stuck a fucking finger in my ass at the time. Like, I was so bummed out, dude.
But they took my music.
Dude, that was like that. Anybody that knew me growing up, I had my skateboard and a backpack full of CDs everywhere I went. You would never catch me without my backpack full of CDs, dude. Everywhere I went, they'd be like, "You got your CDs? Let's bump some music and get high and fucking chill, and we'd sell weed or whatever." But yeah, everywhere I went, I had my backpack full of CDs and shit, dude. I remember even when I got my DUI, dude, I crashed and fucking. That was the one thing I grabbed out of my car. I took off running, dude. Because the fucking people were like, "We called the cops. You're going to be all right." And I was like, "You call the fucking cops? Fuck you." And I took off running with my backpack full of CDs and shit.
When I was 18, I bought myself 2 big pieces of furniture. A fucking bunk bed with the, what's the name at the bottom, the futon at the bottom, and a fucking lamp that stands in the corner, and it was a CD holder.
Yep, I had one of those too.
Right,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So my mission was, I don't care what CDs I had, but my bomb shit, nigga, like my greatest hits, goes in this fucking lamp.
Mm-hmm.
Got my Far Side, my Tribe Called
Ooh,
Quest,
Far Side.
my Soul, my what's the name? Which one by Tupac that love? The one with All I Need in My Life Again, Machiavelli. That shit went in there, nigga. Just my OG, my banger shit went inside that lamp. I had CDs everywhere, but that fucking lamp, that was my Hall of Fame right there.
Yeah, dude, and I had them all in alphabetical order. And people would come over and be like, "Can I borrow this one?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, but you." That was something. I had a friend, man. He would borrow shit, and it would come back fucking ruined. And he'd be like, "I don't need it anymore. I got one for me." And it's like, motherfucker, you better give me the new one, you know. And it never happened. But dude, that shit used to. After a while, I was like, nah. And then Pirate Bay came out. And I fucking loved it because I bought a fucking terabyte hard drive and I downloaded all this shit that I didn't have, dude, anymore. Which was, a lot of it was really hard to find. Like, there's so many CDs and so many bands that I lost because hardcore, like, those dudes don't make fucking money, man, you know, especially back in the day, dude. Like, there's probably a bigger reach now because you could put your shit online. But back then, like, you would tour in a fucking van and, like, just try to fucking make it. And you get these bands that would come out with, like, 2 dope CDs and give up. Like, fuck that. This is fucking too hard, you know? But some of those bands had the greatest albums, man. And I had all that shit, dude. So that's why I was so into, like, having my CD collection. Because you would never get those again. You know? They're not making them anymore.
They make their money on travel and having a good following.
Exactly,
so
dude.
They know they got to bring the energy at their motherfucking show.
Exactly. And there were so many bands that I can name off, man, that were just, to this day, some of my favorite hardcore bands, and they only lasted 2 albums. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's crazy, man.
That sweater, I had to go find what Stick to Your Guns was, and I went and listened to a few of this shit. I'm like, all right.
That's why I'm saying you should come, dude.
Yeah, that's my favorite motherfucker. And you know what?
You would even appreciate him even more, David, if you go see him live, dude. Like, yeah, that's what's so great about hardcore shows, man. Like, there'll be bands that I don't really even like that much, and you go see them live, and you're like, oh, shit, they kind of blew my mind right now. Like, you gain an appreciation for them. That's what happened to me with this band, Bane. Like, I always dug on their CDs, but I had no idea when I saw them live. It was like, oh, shit, that was the best fucking show I've ever seen in my life. They just fucking threw down so hard. They crushed. And it just put them on a whole nother level. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, their CDs are dope, but you have to see them live to even appreciate what they're bringing, dude. You know what I mean? Because the crowd's just going crazy. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, man. You should really come. I'll buy you a ticket, man. It'd be dope. You would trip the fuck out, dude.
You bring the shit to the performance. You know, we here to see you. I love when they fucking bring it and shit.
And they're playing with the Ghost Inside, who hasn't been around for the last 3 years because they got in a bus accident. Their drummer lost his leg.
Damn.
Yeah, their whole bus got demolished, dude. So they're back. Like, they gave their drummer time to get used to his prosthetic and shit. And yeah, I've seen those fools fucking 5 or 6 times. They're one of the bands that I talk to a lot after the shows. But yeah, it's Stick to Your Guns, Straight from the Path, Rotting Out, and fucking The Ghost Inside, which are 4 just dope bands. And they're playing at Chain Reaction in Anaheim, which, like, some of the best shows I've ever seen have been at the Chain Reaction, dude. because you could run up on stage and bomb off and just run across everybody's heads. That's my thing. I love it, dude. You just fucking, because you can see their face right before you step on it, dude. And I just always try to see how far I could run before I fall, dude. You just start running on motherfuckers' heads, dude, and you just see their face at the last minute. All, ah! We used to have a little fucking handheld camera. Excuse me. And fucking, you could, there's this place called the Showcase in Corona, and you could pay $20 and you could take your camera in there. And so we used to love going to the Showcase. Some of the best shows I've ever seen were there too. I think that might be closed now too. But literally, dude, we used to go in there and Shane would fucking get up on the stage and fucking record us. And like, so we have like Madball, fucking Comeback Kid, With Honor, all these bands. Shane has recordings of me just running across fools' heads, doing flips, fucking pitting, all that shit, dude. So much fun, bro. Some of the best memories of my life, dude, are fucking hardcore, dude. For sure.
Yeah, I like when they bring it tone low. He put on a good show. Oh, you know what? I seen Too Short in San Diego. He put on a good one. It was a lowrider show. He put on a good one. He made everybody like, oh, don't just stand there, all that shit. So I like when they be with the crowd. Get us fucking pumped up.
Yeah, see, there was a huge part of my life where I was only listening to hardcore. Like, I didn't do rap really anymore. Or fucking, like, any of that shit. It was just hardcore, dude. And then I got older, and it was funny. I was just talking to my buddy who I hadn't seen in a few years. And I was like, you find yourself listening to a lot of shit that you would have never caught yourself listening to? And he goes, no, the more things change, the more I stay the same. And I was like, I just fucking was like, nah, man. Like, I don't know, man. I find myself listening to all this shit that I would have never thought I would, dude. From back in the day. Things now too, like my music range is huge now. Does that make sense?
I give you credit on for real. I from day one, you've never been nothing other than Kanye's biggest motherfucking fan.
That's
your boy. That's your man. You love that nigga Kanye. I swear to God, you.
But let's clarify. I don't give a fuck about that dude outside of that. You know what I mean?
No. It'd be an obscure song. Or some shit you was like, remember when Kanye said this? And I'm like, damn, that nigga. No,
I don't think people appreciate that.
Not all the MAGA shit and all the slavery. No. Fuck all that shit. Musically, you've always been one of his biggest supporters, and you'll pull out some obscure shit. Like, no, nigga, this, and that. And I'm like, damn, he loves you.
Because I don't think people even know the half of all the hits that dude's made for other people, too, man. You know what I mean? And there's just something about a dude that's doing hits for fucking Jay-Z, doing hits for Pusha T, hits, and he's doing his own shit. And they didn't even want to let him do it at first, you know what I mean? And just fucking came out and blew doors off everybody, dude. And fucking, I still to this day like his music, dude. Like, his last album was fucking amazing. I'm sorry, guys. I know people are going to be like, you're a fucking dope, but him, Kid Cudi, fucking Pusha T, like, that good music album, it has Raekwon on there, Ghostface, like, Jay-Z's on there, like, Big Sean, Pusha T, that... R. Kelly's on their shit. He sings to the world, dude.
We have to make sure we get into the...
we're definitely going to get into that. But to finish what I'm saying, like, there's just something about a dude that produces, makes his own beats, does his own raps, can blow somebody else up. You know what I mean? He found Chance the Rapper. He finds all these, like, guys, dude, that are big now, and nobody gives him credit for it, dude, because it's overshadowed by this other shit he does. But what I think too, David, is that it's all a fucking act.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what he's doing, man. Yeah. Like he literally said the line, name one genius that ain't crazy. Like, he fucking knows exactly what he's doing when he's doing it, bro.
I can listen to anything he makes. I can listen to all that shit. But when he gets outside of music, I don't want to hear nothing he has to say.
See, and I don't know what it is to be a black dude and have that dude act the way he does. Because from what everything I've seen, read, that's the biggest thing for like the black community was he was a huge part of that culture. He was pushing, if you listen to his original like younger music, he was really pushing the culture forward for a stronger black community, dude. And so for him to be on that Trump shit now is completely polar opposite of where he was when he started. And I think it was Charlemagne was saying that's why everybody's so disappointed, because he could right now in this time where there's so much troubles be such a huge beacon of light for not even just the black community, for everybody, dude. And he flopped the other way, man, you know.
The only thing I can say, I don't know too much about him and the Trump shit. Of course I do, but I don't. My total opinion doesn't matter right there. See, what I just think that what's the name? He's a rich dude. Of course you should be with them rich motherfuckers. But yeah, on the other hand, you do got to turn back around and pull back up.
That's his strength and his weakness. He doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
The slavery shit.
That's what got him to where he is, and it's also what's been hurting him because he can't shut his fucking mouth. He needs to think before he talks. You know what I mean?
See, hold on, you said it right there. He doesn't think before he talks.
But he even on that Charlemagne interview, he was saying things that if you really pay attention to what he's saying and don't go into it just hating him because he's fucking Kanye and he's this and that, like Michael Rappaport does, Like I always hear Michael Rappaport just shitting all over him. Shit on that Nas album just because Kanye's on it. That album's fucking dope too, dude. But that's how I think people see him now. They just automatically hate what he's saying and don't even give it a listen or try to look deeper into it because he did this one thing. He wore a red MAGA hat. You know what I mean? But what he was saying about slavery and all those things, I think he was talking more of a mental state of how we are than fucking directly talking about slavery. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I think it's the kids and bully shit. How many times are your kids going to come home and tell you, Tommy pushed me, Tommy pushed me? Damn. Nigga, you ain't going to fight back? When is you gonna do something about it? That's what I think the fuck he meant by the slavery comment. It was all y'all there back then, and y'all didn't do nothing about it. Right. I think that's what the fuck he was trying to say, but it was.
But remember, I think you and I were having this conversation. Was like, you gotta understand back then too. Like, they weren't gonna fuck you up. They're gonna make you watch your family get fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, you try to escape. Well, not only are you fucked, but we're going to kill your mom, your dad, everybody in front of you, or at least beat them within an inch of their life and then make them go back to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're going to take your kids and kill them slowly and say, this is what happens to people that rise up and their kids. So it wasn't thought out. But I think that's what he was trying to say. I don't want to think for him. I might be giving him too much thought, but I think that's what he was trying to say, like the bully shit. How many times you gonna let somebody fuck with you before you fight back?
I think also when he started going downhill, is he attaches his cart to fucking the Kardashians, man, and I just got no respect for those people, dude. You know what I mean?
Them some true witches.
Yeah, Sam Tripoli said that. It's so funny.
Yeah, I don't feel.
He's like, look at every dude that's been around them has just fucking got the life sucked out of him, dude. You know what I mean?
I don't feel bad about this Tristan cheating on her shit because I don't see it as real. I mean, you got him from his baby mama.
Oh, you were the one that told me that, huh?
Yeah, so it's only happening back to you or what happened. I mean, it's just, it doesn't seem real.
Yeah, you're making hoes housewives, dude. You know what I mean?
It's a trip that every guy she falls in love with happens to be an NBA player. Wow, that's amazing.
Right.
Can't find nobody else to love, you know?
Oh, that dude, she had so much work, too.
Yeah, so.
Because she used to look like a straight man. You know what I mean?
I wish everybody find love and happiness. But I don't know what their pursuit is. And if it is love and happiness, she got her heart broke, then shame on me. But if not, come on, man. Stop going for that. It's going to continue to happen.
Well, to segue from love and happiness, David just showed me the greatest thing I think I've ever seen in my fucking entire goddamn life. It is so fucking funny. This dude could say anything, and as long as he sings it, it just blows up, dude. And I had no idea about this growing up, dude, because it was not my thing. But he showed me R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet, and it's a whole series. It's like watching the best, worst Lifetime fucking movie you've ever seen in your life. It's got midgets and fucking white chicks, fucking black dudes, and fucking all kinds of crazy shit. And it is so funny. You guys have got to go watch that shit. It is fucking hilarious. And what's even more hilarious is I do not know how that dude's broke right now, dude. You know what I mean?
I wonder how broke, like if broke to them only down to their last 300,000. You know what I mean?
And also, what is the allegations on that dude right now? Because I haven't watched his documentary. I just watched the Gayle interview, and then I watched Jim and Sam Roberts joking around about it. But they said something to me that was interesting to me. On the thing that was interesting was that dude doesn't own any of his fucking masters, which I always thought was the most baller move by Jay-Z. Was like, he told Def Jam or whoever had his original shit, like, I'll be a fucking VP for you guys for a while, but you gotta give me my fucking masters back, dude. And he fucking owns all his shit now, you know what I mean? And I think that's where R. Kelly fucked up. And what was so funny about that interview was, like, he was saying the first time he's ever even gone to a bank in his fucking life was 3 weeks ago, dude. Who the fuck's been running his shit all through the 90s till now? You know what I mean?
you know what? When I watched that interview, I seen part preacher, part actor.